If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And
when that happens, or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like,
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
I don't like nothing about it.
Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis have been at odds for quite some time now, and no one ever expected things to escalate to the point of physical confrontation, yet that is exactly what we witnessed.
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
147?
147.
Shit, I tap that trend, you know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know
he ain't got no chance.
I already know.
It's nearly fight week for Gervonta "Tank" Davis, and as he wraps up training camp to prepare for his 31st professional fight, chasing his 29th knockout, he and his opponent Lamont Roach met for a closed-door press event. A roundtable interview between the two took place in Brooklyn, New York, right near the venue where the bout will happen. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford has also been in New York ever since Keyshawn Davis's fight against Dennis.
Whoever, I told Tank know what's up. You know what I mean? He know what he up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. You know what I mean? He want to fight these.
That fight took place on Valentine's Day at Madison Square Garden, where Crawford was among the high-profile attendees, alongside Claressa Shields and several other elite fighters. Since then, Crawford has remained in New York, planning to leave for Saudi Arabia afterward to watch Shakur Stevenson face Floyd Schofield. To everyone's surprise, Crawford appeared at the press conference between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, and the entire meeting spiraled into chaos after he interrupted Tank. The tension boiled over once Gervonta confronted him regarding recent remarks Crawford had made.
He would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Crawford openly admitted to those comments and even challenged Davis to take action. Unfortunately for Tank, Crawford acted first, shoving him before the two were separated by onlookers. Here's the full story, along with the exact statement from Crawford that reignited this feud. The 37-year-old Omaha native has already accomplished more than most fighters could dream of since his debut in March 2008, capturing world titles across 4 divisions and becoming undisputed at both super lightweight and welterweight. Now, as he prepares for a blockbuster showdown later this year with Mexican superstar Saul Canelo Alvarez, Crawford, better known as Bud, delivered a message to a reigning champion whom he believes is arrogant.
I just felt like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around.
On the Cigar Talk podcast, Crawford expressed his candid thoughts about WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, admitting he simply doesn't like the 30-year-old Baltimore native. "I just don't like that dude," Crawford said. "I don't like anything about him. I feel like he's just one of those arrogant guys hiding behind what he's got. He surrounds himself with bodyguards, he lives in the limelight, but in real situations, he wouldn't act that way." When asked if he at least respected Tank as a fighter, Crawford conceded, "Yeah, he's a damn good fighter. I respect him in the ring, he's got skills, he's got power, tremendous boxing ability. But his personality and the way he carries himself? Nah."
Talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
Still, a potential clash between the two American stars is unlikely anytime soon, given the significant difference in weight classes. Crawford's last fight was at 154 pounds, and his upcoming bout against Canelo will be contested at 168. By contrast, Tank has only fought as high as super lightweight, with the majority of his success coming at lightweight, where he has proven nearly impossible to figure out. Sporting an undefeated 30-0 record, Davis currently holds the WBA belt in a division overflowing with talent and demanding unification bouts.
And he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his ways.
Vasily Lomachenko currently holds the IBF strap. Shakur Stevenson owns the WBC title, while Keyshawn Davis just captured the WBO belt from Denis Baranchyk on Valentine's Day with a vicious body shot knockout. Crawford was present to witness his training partner's victory and told Fight Hype afterward that Tank wouldn't hold up well against either Keyshawn or Shakur. "Tank knows exactly what it is," Crawford said. He knows the challenge he'd face if he steps in with Shakur or Keyshawn. Instead, he keeps picking opponents the whole world knows won't give him a real fight. They might have a little skill here and there, but mentally they can't maintain it. Shakur and Keyshawn? They're the ones who'll hand him his first loss.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like...
Both Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis share that belief and voiced their thoughts in exclusive interviews with TalkSport.com over the past few weeks. Keyshawn, brimming with confidence, even compared a potential matchup with Tank to Crawford's dismantling of Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023 for the undisputed welterweight crown. "I see myself putting the same type of beating on Gervonta as Terence put on Spence," Keyshawn said. "His style is tailor-made for mine. I'm young, and I don't see it going the full 12, but I can fight 12 if needed. I'm sharper inside and outside the ring. I'm just smarter, period. The only thing people talk about with him is that one-punch power."
That everybody in the world know they ain't gonna give them no fight. They not mentally there, you know what I mean? They might have a little skills here and there, but mentally wise, they not.
"I've got power too. I've stopped fighters with a single shot," Keyshawn continued. "The difference is, he's done it over and over again. We know Tank has that one-punch danger, but you haven't really seen everything I bring to the table. I've only had 12 fights, with just 3 of them at an elite level. This next bout against Ivan Baranchyk will be my 4th. There are still a lot of unknowns, but I know I'm better than what people have seen." Meanwhile, Stevenson has been pursuing a fight with Tank for years, though the matchup has never materialized. "I don't know why it hasn't happened," Stevenson admitted, "but I do know the guy who controls it, it's Tank. He's the superstar, the pay-per-view attraction, the face of boxing. If it's going to happen, it's on him."
To keep it up, that whole fight. And them 2 guys right there, you know what I mean, is going to be the ones that, you know, give him his...
"The ball is in his court," Stevenson added. "I can't send him an offer. Turkey Alalshik has the money, not me. I can't put together the kind of payday Tank is used to. I don't know why he's avoided it, but to me, he's a strange dude. Honestly, I don't have much respect for him." For now, Davis is scheduled to return on March 1st in Brooklyn against WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach. If he emerges unscathed, the expectation is that his next fight will finally be against one of those 3 reigning champions.
Said no chance.
I got round 5.
Yeah, I got round 6.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah.
At this point, Vasily Lomachenko appears to be the front-runner, as Davis's camp had previously approached the Ukrainian technician about a possible fight last year. However, Loma decided to step away from the sport for a while instead. The whole situation involving Davis and Crawford can be traced back to the Ring Magazine Awards held in London this past January, where Gervonta Davis was one of the most notable absentees. Boxing's biggest names gathered for the London Ring Awards, though a few fighters were absent, none more prominent than Gervonta "Tank" Davis. The ceremony was designed to showcase the sport's elite, yet Tank's absence stood out, especially considering his status as an undefeated star with a 30-0 record, 28 of those wins by knockout. Despite having announced plans to retire in 2025, his credentials keep him firmly in boxing's upper echelon. Still, speculation suggests Davis may not have been invited due to strained relations with Turkey Alalshik, who owns Ring Magazine, and the Riyadh season organizers. Davis seemed displeased, believing he had been intentionally excluded. He made several posts on X, which he later deleted, expressing frustration. Terence Crawford, however, seized the moment to mock him, sparking another round of heated exchanges on social media that carried into Tuesday. Davis's posts targeted both the event organizers and attendees, further fueling speculation that his fallout with Riyadh season's leadership was behind the snub. Soon after, Crawford jumped in, ensuring the tension escalated.
Gave a little prediction on the fight, talked about Errol has a metal shield and you have a glass shield, talk about the punch resistance. What do you think of Tank's assessment, man?
Although the posts were deleted, multiple outlets managed to capture and publish Davis's comments. "Why didn't they invite everybody?" he asked, suggesting favoritism by adding, "but they invited people they deal with." "Get out of here, stop bum eating." He seemed to direct part of his criticism toward promoter Eddie Hearn, writing, "Look at that little rat thinking he came up on something. Now tell them all to fight each other since they've got a heavy roster." Davis didn't stop there, he also took aim at Turki Al-Sheikh, challenging the credibility of the guest list and implying that the Saudi chairman didn't truly understand the sport.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
So, okay. What about, everyone's talking about Errol?
His words appeared aimed directly at the head of Riyadh's season. They want to act like this guy is good for boxing, when he's not good for anything. If he's so great, why isn't he building up the fighters from where he comes from? This man doesn't know boxing at all, yet he's the one they're putting in charge, Tank wrote in one of the now-deleted posts. His remarks made it clear that he rejected the idea of Al-Sheikh being positioned as a savior for boxing.
Crawford, on the other hand, I don't see nobody around that's gonna be that beat Bud unless somebody way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the fact that
Davis continued his tirade by pointing out that, unlike him, many fighters leave the United States to chase paydays overseas, only to end up performing in front of sparse crowds. The feud between Davis and Crawford stretched into Tuesday, fueled by Davis boasting to Crawford about having more money. Crawford, unimpressed, quickly fired back, which led Davis to lash out again in additional deleted posts, this time directly attacking Crawford's earnings.
if him and Tank fought at about 145, that's a good daggone fight, you understand me? Matter of fact, I'm saying, that's a good damn fight, you understand me? Because they both have very high IQs, and Tank is very explosive. That's the one thing Tank...
"I still make more than you," Davis reportedly told Crawford. "People think you're chasing greatness, but really, you're just doing what you have to do to make money." Crawford then clapped back with a scathing response, "The first thing a fool with money tells another is, I've got more than you. I guarantee I've got more investments than you, and I don't owe $1 in taxes. There's nothing you can buy that I can't, and that's a fact. Let's see whose money lasts longer, smart boy." His words were directed squarely at Davis, who shot back again with insults and dismissive replies. Fans found the whole exchange fascinating, especially since Davis had shocked the boxing world just last year during the Lamont Roach press conference by declaring his intent to retire at the end of 2025. If that's truly the case, many questioned why Davis was so fixated on invitations to ceremonies. It wasn't the first time Crawford had needled the Baltimore star. After defeating Errol Spence Jr. to become undisputed, Crawford heard that Davis had claimed he could beat him at 147 pounds. Speaking on the Breakfast Club, Crawford calmly addressed it, "I respect Tank's ability, he's a hell of a fighter. But if he thinks he can just come up to 147 and knock me out, he's got another thing coming. There are levels in boxing. Whether Crawford and Davis ever meet in the ring remains doubtful." For Crawford, there's only one fight that truly matters right now, his mega clash with Canelo Alvarez.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis currently sit 3 weight divisions apart, though they've both competed in the same classes before. Crawford began his professional run at lightweight, the very division where Tank now reigns as a world champion. Crawford later became undisputed at super lightweight, a weight where Tank has also captured a title. From there, Crawford kept climbing, dominating welterweight before stepping up to 154 pounds last year. Meanwhile, Davis remains at 135, where he continues to defend his WBA world title and score knockouts against every challenger. The Baltimore powerhouse has even claimed in the past that he would knock Crawford out, perhaps jokingly, but Crawford, the bigger man, has warned him not to bite off more than he can chew.
Terence Crawford, Canelo situation, do you think that's a fight where they could get to a weight that makes sense? Do you think that the weight would affect Terence Crawford?
Canelo is the king. Whatever he say, you know what I'm saying?
Although a fight between them is extremely unlikely, some believe it wouldn't be as one-sided as many think. In an interview with Real Life Productions, multi-division world champion Roy Jones Jr. weighed in, "That's a good damn fight." He suggested that if the two met just under the welterweight limit, Tank would have a legitimate chance. "One reason I don't see anybody beating Bud is unless it's someone way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the idea that if he and Tank fought around 145, that's a good damn fight. You understand me?
I'd like to see that fight, the outcome of it, you know what I'm saying? And then watching Canelo been making some good moves, you know, as far as fights and whatnot, you know.
Jones elaborated further, both of them have very high ring IQs, and Tank is explosive, that's something Errol Spence didn't have. In boxing, an explosive fighter can go far. I was only able to conquer the divisions I did because of my explosiveness. It keeps people honest, it keeps them in check. For now, though, the two Americans will continue on separate paths. Crawford is targeting a showdown with super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez, which would require him to leap up 14 pounds. Tank, on the other hand, is set to face Lamont Roach Jr. in March before, according to his most recent press conference, retiring by the end of the year. Fans of Tank can circle their calendars for March 1st, when his fight with Roach goes down at the Barclays Center. While Crawford's proposed fight with Canelo Alvarez looks increasingly likely, Gervonta Davis has inserted himself into the conversation. Reports suggest Crawford and Canelo have finalized a deal for the mega fight this year, pitting two of the sport's best pound-for-pound fighters against one another. The matchup is believed to have materialized after both men held separate meetings with Saudi chief Turki Al-Sheikh in London over the weekend, following more than a year of speculation. The boxing world is buzzing with excitement at the prospect of Crawford versus Canelo, though one of the sport's other biggest stars isn't all that impressed, Gervonta Davis. Davis isn't the only skeptic, his longtime trainer Calvin Ford has also given his perspective on the fight. The ongoing debate about who would win between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford continues to dominate boxing discussions, with many viewing it as one of the biggest potential bouts in modern times. Still, it would require Crawford to make a massive jump in weight. Speaking to Fight Hype, Ford gave his honest take and appeared to lean toward Canelo having the edge. "Canelo is the king," Ford said. "It's a good fight, and I'd love to see it. But Canelo has been making some really smart moves lately." Ford also assessed Crawford's most recent performance at 154 pounds, where he defeated Israel Madrimov but failed to secure a stoppage. It was his first fight up there, you can't say he didn't carry power, but he had to make adjustments. It's like when Benavidez went up in weight, it's about adapting. I hope Crawford gets another fight at that weight to show the world it's really there. If not, then we can start questioning it. If you enjoyed the fight, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more knockout content only on Knuckle Forge.